Hi there, I'm Jack Van Ryn, Mayor of the Town of Coaldale. I will be giving you a council brief from our July 10th, 2023 regular council meeting. And the first item on the agenda came up under agenda item 5.0, public hearing. We actually had three of them at our meeting this afternoon. And the first one was regarding land use rezoning bylaw 874-P-06-23 regarding the rezoning from institutional/recreational IR to direct control. And the purpose of the public hearing was to receive public input and review referral agency feedback relating to the proposal to rezone a portion of the land that is no longer required for the Malloy Drain project in the southwest area of Coaldale, west of 30th Street, which is also west of Coaldale Nurseries. Council passed first reading to this bylaw back at our June 26, 2023 meeting. And the town of Coaldale purchased a portion of land from a private landowner in order to construct Phase 2A of the Malloy Drain Stormwater Holding Project. As part of the purchase agreement, the town agreed to sell back unused lands from that purchase. So the Malloy Drain Stormwater Project is something that is currently we're still involved with. And on the west end of Coaldale, to capture overland floodwaters, we did our Phase 2A. And as part of that, we had a sliver of land left over, approximately 5 acres. And as per the agreement to sell back any unused lands from that purchase to the landowner is something that council had to approve. And the town recently received subdivision approval for the subject lands. And as a condition of the subdivision, the lands were required to be reincorporated back into the adjacent piece to the west, rather than creating a standalone parcel. The reason for that condition is that the creation of a new acreage space in that location is not conducive to the future urban style development of that area. So due to changes in land ownership, the purchaser no longer wished to consolidate the subject lands back to the original quarter section. And that is because the original landowner took on a partnership. So they want to keep this sliver of land that was originally sold to the town, keep it separate. And in order for us to be able to keep it separate, we had to change it from a zoning of institutional recreational IR to direct control. And under direct control, that means that any development applications, any discussions about what that sliver of land can be used for would have to come back to council for approval. And that, if we do not do that, that creates a planning challenge that we can solve by rezoning the parcel to direct control for the express purpose of ensuring that nothing is approved for construction on the site until such a time as the lands are further subdivided in line with the approved area structure plan. So under direct control, we can just hit the pause button on any development until we can join that sliver of land back with the main parcel and go back to the original area structure plan that was approved previously. So council approved second and third reading for that rezoning. The next public hearing that came up was regarding road closure bylaw 867-P-03-23, and that was regarding a piece of property that is directly behind the current Civic Square building. And we had the public hearing for to have public input on the proposed road closure bylaw and to review referral agency feedback. And once the public hearing is closed, administration will submit the road closure proposal for ministerial approval prior to receiving second and third reading at a future council meeting. And council approved first reading at our June 26, 2023 council meeting. And this all revolves around plans that the town of Coaldale initiated to develop the Civic Square outdoor space. And in order to accommodate the proposed development, council was requested to formally close those portions of the lane located within Block 12, Plan 647-6AA. And again, that's directly behind the current Civic Square building. And once the closure of those portions of the lane are approved, they will be consolidated into the adjacent town-owned land. And the whole purpose of this is that once we develop the Civic Square, and that's where that outdoor skating rink is going to be installed, and then the concrete base of that skating rink during the summer months, that will be used for outdoor festivals, farmers markets, movies in the park, Friday night music, what have you. We're hoping to keep that space very busy. So we had to have a public hearing so that we could have public input, and that's where residents can come and speak in favor or against the proposal. And with that public hearing completed, now that will be sent for ministerial approval, and then it'll come back to council for second and third reading. Then after that, agenda item 5.3, that was regarding the West Industrial Area Structure Plan Bylaw 875-P-06-23 regarding second and third reading. And the purpose of the public hearing was for council to hear public input on the proposed amendment to the West Industrial Area Structure Plan. And council previously approved first reading at our June 26, 2023 regular council meeting. And the West Industrial Area Structure Plan was presented for the first time to council in March of 2022 after receiving feedback from landowners between the first reading and second and third readings. A section of the privately owned land was removed from the area structure plan, and that was based on discussions we had with the landowner. But now that land is being sold, and due to the changes in ownership, town administration has received a request to amend the original area structure plan to include the parcel that I just spoke about, and that is the very south portion of that area structure plan. So we had the public hearing on that, and before council can discuss second and third reading, we are just awaiting another piece of information. So this will come back at a future council meeting to discuss further. Then, under business arising from the minutes, we had under agenda item 6.1, we had our municipal clerk, Lana Anthony, present regarding the library board under Chinook Arch council term appointments. And the purpose of the staff report was to correctly align the council committee appointments to the Libraries Act and the library's regulation by confirming the council appointment to a 3-year term instead of a previous appointed 4-year term for council members. So back in October, council appointed members of council to various boards and committees that we participate, and that took place on October 24th, 2022. Then we had the Public Library Services Branch reach out to notify that to be compliant to the Public Library Services Branch with Municipal Affairs, it was necessary to amend the council appointments to reflect that they are 3-year terms instead of the 4-year terms that we approved. And our municipal clerk, Lana, did an excellent job of presenting why we needed to make those changes. And back in October of 2022, Councillor Saylor and Deputy Mayor Beekman, as an alternate, were appointed by Council to the Chinook Arch Library Board for a 4-year term from October 25th, 2022 to October 26th, 2025. So now, to meet the Public Library Services Branch, and as per the MGA, we had to make an amendment to that. So we passed a motion that Council appoint Councillor Saylor and Deputy Mayor Beekman as alternate to the Chinook Arch Library Board for a 3-year term ending October 27th of 2024. And a second motion that Council appoint Deputy Mayor Beekman to the Coaldale Library Board for a 3-year term ending October 27, 2024. And where it gets confusing is that under the MGA, our council terms were extended to 4 years from 3 years. So that's where the hiccup comes from now, is that the Public Library Services Branch and the public, as per Municipal Affairs, they're still following the 3-year term. So another motion was made to reach out to the organization to see if they can align with the new council terms, because Coaldale is not the only municipality that they're going to be dealing with this on. So we made a motion to send a letter to see if we could align with council terms instead of the Library Services Branch. Then, under agenda item 6.2, we had the Policy Review Committee recommendations. And again, we had our municipal clerk, Lana Antony, present. And the purpose of the report was to provide council the recommendations from the Policy Review Committee that was formed at the April 24th, 2023 regular council meeting. The purpose of the committee was to review, evaluate, and update the current policies and bring them back to council for final approval on the policies to retain and others to repeal. And the Policy Review Committee was formed by resolution from council, and they council members included Councillor Lisa Reese and myself. And from administration, we had our Chief Financial Officer and Deputy CAO Kyle Beauchamp as part of the committee, and also our Chief Administrative Officer Kaylin Hastings, along with our Municipal Clerk Lana Antony. And it's been a long time, a very long time, since all of the town policies were reviewed. So a committee that I just mentioned was formed to evaluate the existing policies and provide recommendations. All of our committee members were presented with binders that contained all the existing policies, with the intent and schedule to meet an additional 3 times to discuss, which we did. And committee members reviewed the policies and made recommendations before coming back to meet each time. And speaking for myself, I'd rather watch paint dry to read all those old documents, but that's something that needs to be done. And after our meetings and our follow-up meetings, the Policy Review Committee made the recommendations that are divided into 2. One is to approve the existing revised 29 policies, and the other is to repeal the 97 policies that are no longer relevant. And one of the main reasons the committee has recommended that so many policies get repealed is that they are under HR and they're related to HR in nature. and many of the policies were consolidated into the employee handbook, thus making them not needed anymore. So as part of that discussion, council approved, and I'll just pull that up here. That council, the motion was passed that council proceed with the recommendation from the Policy Review Committee and approve the 29 policies as presented, and that council proceed with the recommendation from the Policy Review Committee and repeal the 97 policies that were presented. And if anybody wants to see any of these policies that were repealed, we have them available at the town office. And then we had departmental reports, and under agenda item 9.1, we had our deputy CAO and our chief financial officer, Kyle Beauchamp, present the annual report for 2022. And Town Council approved the audited financial statements on April 24th, 2023, and they are the basis for the 2022 Town's annual report. And it's a very comprehensive document that highlights the financial results and fiscal state of the Town of Coaldale in a clear and transparent manner for the Town of Coaldale stakeholders. And that was one request by current council when we were first elected, is that we need to make the financial statements as easy to read as we possibly can. And our CFO, Kyle, did an excellent job on doing that, along with his financial team. And this report actually was completed by one of Kyle's teammates, Tim Koba, and Tim did an excellent job putting this all together. And as part of the agenda package, this will be an attachment, and I'll have the link to our agenda in the comment section of this video. And I encourage everybody to go through not only this agenda item, but all the other ones as well, because there's a lot more information for you to review. And other than that, we had some information items. Coaldale Public Library, they gave us their July-August newsletter and calendar for upcoming events. And also the Chinook Arch Library gave us a copy of their audited financial statements for 2022 and their impact report. So again, I'll have that in the as part of the agenda package in the comment section of this video. So that concludes the open portion of the meeting. So I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and do me a big favor, because it always takes a bit of time putting this together, to share it, to like it, leave a comment. That would help a lot. And also, if you have any questions, concerns, I'll have my contact information at the end of this video. That includes my cell number and my email address. So please feel free to reach out with any questions, concerns. That also includes any other member of council. We're all available, and you can find our email addresses on the town website. And other than that, if you see myself on the street or any other member of council, feel free to stop us, have a conversation. And other than that, I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I look forward to seeing at our Summerfest celebration that's taking place on August the 12th. And the day before, the Friday before, August the 11th, at the Movie in the Park, I'll be volunteering with other members of council there as well. So thanks again, and I hope to see you on the street soon. Take care. Bye.